Hey, it's another week, another recipe, and today we are making old-fashioned no-bake potato candy, which turned out to be a great way to use up some potatoes that were starting to get soft. Come join me for this surprisingly sweet treat. Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. My name's Courtney and I cook history's forgotten recipes out of random cookbooks I find and sometimes websites so that when stuff hits the oscillating wind machine, we'll be ready and hopefully be able to be creative enough to cook something out of absolutely nothing. Let's go. Okay, so today we're making potato candy, and this recipe was decided upon for two reasons. First of all, I have potatoes that are getting a little dehydrated that are gonna go by the wayside if I don't use them soon, and I've already made soup this week, so I figured, you know what, why not use them in a recipe and see what would have been done a long time ago in some form. Second reason is I'm always looking for a good dessert or a sweet or a candy or something, because if you have nothing but you can get potatoes perhaps, and I can make something sweet and desserty if it works out. That's awesome. So this says to take 2 to 3 medium potatoes. I had 2 medium potatoes, and this equals a medium potato. And then it says to cook, peel, and mash. Now I thought to go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way in the oven or in the pot of water, but you know what? I'm lazy, and time permitting, I'm just gonna microwave the crap out of them on the baked potato setting and then scoop out the insides. Before you do that though, make sure, if you just saw me, poke it with a toothpick, with a fork, or something like that so it has a vent so that steam does not explode your potato. All right, here we go. Okay, so I put these on the potato setting and then I let them sit in there to cool off so I could peel them with my hands without killing myself. So now I'm just gonna peel off the outer layer. One good thing to remember with these old recipes especially is I think this one I found from the 1940s. I'll have to double check and I'll put it in the description. The 1940s especially, but also during the Depression and other hard economic times, including now, it's really important to just not waste food. I mean, it's important in general, but when there is a scarcity of things, I mean, you really shouldn't and couldn't actually in the 40s, at least in England, couldn't waste. You would get fined if you threw out your potato peels. They could be used for other things. Just because you have potatoes that are a little soggy, now not rotten, that's different, and that's gross. If your potatoes are just soft, they're just dehydrated. Same with your carrots. They're just dehydrated, which means they just lost water. They're still good, just might be floppy and squishy, but they're great for soup, they're great for cooking, maybe not eating raw, but honestly, you can still use them. And I'm picking out the eyes if there's any deep eyes. Like this one has a couple that just come off just in chunks. You don't want that. That's gross anyways, and they're hard. All right, I got a ye old mixing bowl, and I am curious to see how this turns out, because if you watched a couple videos ago, we screwed up a potato royally. I didn't even know you could do that, but considering this has sugar in it, maybe it won't be as bad. Okay, so now I need to mash it lukewarm, and they are lukewarm, so I'm just gonna give this a good mush. Also, one thing that this does not include is confectionery cooking. There's no stove involved unless you were to boil your potato to get it to this point. I'm not sure they can call it an actual candy, just because there's no candy making involved. I think it might just be a sweet treat, which is fine. Okay, so I've got this nicely mushed up, and I need to add 1.5 to 2 pounds of powdered sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, and 2 tablespoons of butter. I don't know why. I think somebody in the middle of filming shots decided to make something with this and give me some salt and pepper that I don't need. This is a sweet potato, not a savory. Okay, well, I guess the amount of powdered sugar in here, I'm gonna call it a confectionery, because there's a lot of powdered sugar in here. For some reason, I guess I just didn't wrap my head around how much 1.5 pounds of powdered sugar is. I think there's more powdered sugar than potato. But that's good, because that means it'll be sweet. Then a teaspoon of, just a teaspoon? Seems like I should have a lot more than that, and I am kind of one of those people who, if I make cookies and it calls for a teaspoon of vanilla, I put 2 in it, just because you can't go wrong with that. They just taste so good. And then 2 tablespoons of butter, and where's my, it says to blend well. I'm gonna use my fork. I'm not sure how to do this. I suppose I could do it in a mixer. I mean, I know this recipe was around in the 60s and the 70s and stuff like that, but the older recipes, I'm sure, you just mix it by hand. But just based when it says blend, it might Might need a mixer, but we're already here, and you know, I'm pretending I have no electricity, minus my microwave. It's actually blending quite well. And I think one thing you need to really pay attention to is making sure you don't have any skin left on your potato when you peel it, because I could see that being kind of gross in a candy. But oh, this is mushing really well. Oh, it was just really dry and thick, and then all of a sudden it just bleh, and went mushy, like liquidy. So it did say 1.5 to 2 pounds of powdered sugar, and the amount of powdered sugar is going to be based on if you use 2 or 3 potatoes. I only put in 1.5 pounds, but I'm going to have some more, I think, because I'm supposed to have a stiff but not dry batter, and this is pretty liquidy. I am the messiest cook, I swear. Okay, so here's another 1/2 pound to make a total of 2 pounds. It smells good. It smells sweet, I should say. It just smells sweet. It doesn't smell like anything particularly, but I'm just getting a sweet smell. So because it says that the amount of sugar is going to be relative to the size or amount of potatoes you use, I ended up having to use 3 pounds of sugar, because apparently what I thought was a medium potato is a large potato. But I'm from Idaho, so large potatoes are like large potatoes. Maybe they weren't as large back then. I hope I like this because I just made a lot of it. All right, so we've got a soft but not dry dough, and then I am supposed to roll this out. Okay, so it just says a rectangle. It doesn't say how thick though. I'm just gonna keep sprinkling this with powdered sugar so it doesn't stick. I already had a little piece kind of pop up on my rolling pin. I need new cutting boards. You're not staying in the spot I want you to. Stop. This is gonna make a lot, but you can freeze this. It does say you can eat immediately, or you can freeze it. Oh gosh darn it. Or you can freeze it. Oops. You didn't see that. I hate my cutting board, but I already got it dirty, so I don't want to move it. Okay, I'm moving the dang cutting board. I can't do that. My cutting board lost all of its little grippy feet, and so now it just slides everywhere. So we're gonna re-roll this. It's not quite rectangular. I think I'll cut it up just to make rolling easier. Okay, so then I am supposed to spread powdered sugar all over it. And then we spread 1/4 inch of peanut butter on the top. This plus the powdered sugar, I'm looking forward to, because peanut butter, I have had peanut butter mixed with powdered sugar before, and it's pretty dang delicious. I'm sure you could do this with almond butter or sunflower butter, although that might get really expensive because those aren't cheap either. Okay, so now it says to roll like a jelly roll. So I'm gonna loosen up my ends here and hope nothing breaks or sticks too bad. I'm gonna grab my long, oh wait, no. I'm gonna wash this off. I'm gonna use my cake spatula. I'm gonna coat it in a little bit of powdered sugar to go under and kind of loosen things up a little bit on all sides, just so I might have a little bit of, you know, I might be able to win at this. Oh, it's kind of dry on the edge though. I see where the powdered sugar is on the edges, it sucked that moisture out just on the edge, so that is a little crumbly. But the inside's not bad. That's not bad at all. Maybe as it rolls in on itself, the oil from the peanut butter will kind of soften those cracked edges. And I mean, really, it's not terrible. It's not like it's stale bread. Yeah, these are less candy and more pinwheel. Now gotta roll peanut butter. I forgot all my cookie sheets are in the freezer with blackberries on them right now, so waiting to be transferred to bags, whatever. Okay, anyways, well, that smells divine. That smells really good. So that's what I got. It's not round, it's mushy. Kind of want to cut these smaller, like in pieces. I'm gonna try it with this one. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do is I am going to finish cutting this, but I'm gonna put a bite of it in the freezer. I am a disaster. I am a messy cook. If you've watched me for any length of time, this should come as no surprise. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put these off to the side for a minute and stick them in the fridge for a couple minutes while I deep powder sugar myself. I feel a little less dusty. My apron doesn't seem to think so, but I personally feel a little more clean. I'm predicting that this will taste like peanut butter fudge. It will have the consistency thereof, and it's not going to be gross or a waste of potato or powdered sugar. Wow, that's really good. That's really good, just really rich. I was right about that. This would be too much. This would be sugar coma migraine. Little bites like this, perfect. And try my frozen one. Oh. That's so much better. I hope you try this. This was like so easy. This is literally a no-bake recipe. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you join our little community and push the subscribe button and the little bell notification. I upload a new experiment from historical recipes I find every Monday. A lot of them are great like this, and a lot of them, I shouldn't say a lot, but a good portion of them are just kind of like, why? And are pretty gross. But they're fun nonetheless, and I hope to see you in the comments. Please send me a recipe, please say hi. I'd love to know that you're here and watching. And also give it a little like if you enjoyed it. It kind of helps me to know what kind of stuff you guys want to see, because since I'm under 500 subscribers, I can't do any polls or anything. So if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And I think the algorithm picks up on that and will help show it to more people so we can grow the little community we've got going here, which has been super fun. Anyways, I will leave the recipe in the description below. As always, please let me know if you try it or if you have had it before, if I did something differently that you did or you remember your grandmother doing. I'd love to hear. If you need something else to watch after this, here's the video of the original jelly roll that I did. That was an actual jelly roll recipe that looked terrible but tasted divine. It was so good. Anyways, I will see you on Monday next week with a new historical recipe experiment, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.